Why does training matter? Why does experience matter if you're going to a chiropractor and you're pregnant? Well, in this One Belly Wednesday, what I'd like to do is explain a little bit about the process that chiropractors go through in order to understand a little bit more about your pregnancy. Because, hey, listen, I don't think you should just necessarily go to anybody. Now, you can, right? I will tell you from a complete place of transparency and honesty, all of us as chiropractors, when we're going through training, get some exposure to some pregnancy work. We all have it in our curriculum. Now, I'll tell you though that when I graduated from chiropractic college, when I had my very first pregnant patient, because I didn't have a single one when I was going through school, when I had my first one out in practice, I had to go back to my textbook and look up, okay, what do I need to do here? How do I keep her body comfortable and safe? And on average, as I was teaching around the state, I would find when I'd ask people to raise their hands, just general chiropractors, how often do you see pregnant patients? Most of us will usually see maybe 5 to 10 a year in practice. Yeah, maybe one come in every couple months or so. Usually it's somebody who's been existing in your practice and you've got a family practice and she gets pregnant and, you just take care of her. But I'll tell you what I learned is that taking care of a pregnant person is completely different as far as the physiology goes. I mean, the pregnancy shifts everything from the ligament structure to how the fascia balances, how the sacrum balances. It really changes the subluxation patterns too. And that's really what we're trained to look for as chiropractors, is that we're trained to look for where those areas of misalignment, where those areas of interference are. And so, you can do a lot of things as a chiropractor if you're looking to build your practice. You can build a website and you can say pregnancy, pregnant person, you can put up images of pregnant patients. You can do all kinds of things like that. You could have adjusted your pregnant wife. You could have adjusted your pregnant sister. You could have adjusted your pregnant aunt. I don't know. There's lots of people that you could have adjusted in your life that are pregnant. And so you say, hey, listen, I take care of pregnancy. Totally accurate. That's true. When you're doing a Google search and you see someone says, I take care of pregnant people, you know what? As long as you're a chiropractor, that can be an accurate statement. But here is where I have my level of difference. So I talked in our last One Belly Wednesday that we released about the difference between my first birth and my second. And so for chiropractors who are really passionate about helping pregnant patients, they hit a roadblock at some point in time. I know because it happened to me. When I had my very first patient present with a breech, a baby who is head up and not head down, I needed to really feel like I knew what the heck I was doing, because I'd been saying I was taking care of pregnant people, but I really felt unprepared. I didn't feel prepared by school. I didn't feel prepared by any of my postgraduate training. And so that's how I found the ICPA. And I got my very first Webster certification in 2008. I've gone through that process of certification 5 times now. I'm probably the most repeat Webster chiropractor in town. I have actually now, I teach the second class that drooly chiropractors, they start talking about chiropractic and pregnancy and like drools up their chin, right? My drooly birth docs, I've taught them for several years now about the finer aspects. Once you learn how to balance the pelvis with Webster, there's some other things that go on top of that if you're going to continue. Because guess what? I ran into more roadblocks. I found that just taking care of my son's mom, just doing Webster wasn't enough. That's what led us to the 47-hour labor, right? I'd have been severely disappointed in myself, and I was for years, taking care of these patients and adjusting them the way that I was always taught to adjust them with my Webster certification. And then they ended up in an intervention birth, leading to something like a belly birth, because there were things that I didn't know to look for. And so if you're a first time mom and you're looking up, hey, let's do a Google search for pregnancy chiropractic Cape Coral, or pregnancy chiropractic Fort Myers, prenatal chiropractic Fort Myers, prenatal chiropractic Cape Coral. Any of those kinds of search terms, you're putting them into Google and you're looking through the listings and you're trying to figure out, well, who should I go to, right? There's a lot of things that you use for a filter. You look at ratings for chiropractors. You look at who's closest to me, right? But let me ask you to go one step further. What I'd really encourage people who are pregnant or looking for even a pediatric chiropractor in any of these areas, in Cape Coral or Fort Myers, is I'd like you to go to the training site, the one that is responsible for training us as chiropractors, and find the person closest to you there. It's really easy to find. DiscoverKidsHealth.com is the International Chiropractic Pediatric Association's website. And all of us who maintain our certifications are listed on there. And they have our locations and they have all the advanced training that we've done is all on there. There's going to be a new one that's going to come up, a new certification that you'll start seeing. And it's an advanced pregnancy certification that the ICPA is putting together for chiropractors like us, people who have had the extra level of experience in classes above and beyond Webster. It includes my course. So people who have taken my class will be eligible for this as well. And I really think it's an important piece because, listen, I mean, I think that there's my friend Ian Schulman says that his vision is to have at every birth, there should be a chiropractor for every single birth. Every person deserves to have chiropractic at it. And if we're going to fulfill that mission, what we need to do is train more doctors, right? We can't just put it up on our website and say, oh, I do it, right? I want you to know what you're doing if you're a chiropractor saying you're taking care of pregnant patients, because it's important. Because what you do matters, because if that chiropractor is providing services and they aren't complete, then your patients aren't necessarily getting the benefit of what other chiropractors who are really passionate and focused on this could have been giving them. And at that point in time, that's a bit selfish. I think that if what we're going to do is really honor those pregnant bodies, is we all need to upskill. That there are classes that we can take. If this is an area that you're really focused on, and you're like, geez, I really think I want to help these people, even if it's just in your own family, for the love of Pete, make sure you get out to those classes. If you as a patient or as a parent or someone who knows someone who's pregnant is looking for someone who's trained, go to the expert site, right? Google is super convenient for everybody, but just like trying to find out if a doctor has a medical license, right? You might want to look them up before you take your grandma there, right? It's not just some guy on a corner saying, oh yeah, sure, I do cancer treatment. There's a lot of things that I really feel passionate about. This is probably the one that's the strongest for me, is that I have personally trained most of the doctors in this area who are pregnancy chiropractors, and I'm super proud of that. I would have no problem with people going to any of them because I know the kind of level of training and the level of focus that they all have had to put in order to feed this, to really feed the need here in our area for this special patient population. So I think it's wonderful. And one of the best thing that's ever going to happen is that training program is actually coming to Fort Myers. And so I am going to see my dream fulfilled, where I'm going to have so many people here because there's so many births in this county every single year, and there's no way we can possibly see all of them. But I will tell you, I will probably still get the tricky ones. I'll probably still get the ones that other people can't touch, and the ones that OBs are referring, and the ones midwives are calling and saying, hey, doc, can you come to this labor because we need to sort some stuff out pronto. Because, 17 years of experience, Webster certified for the last 12 of them. When it comes to the tricky things, that's really what my niche is. And I'm always happy to help anywhere from that to our wellness pregnancies and having the births that everybody's been visualizing. So if you, like I said, if you guys have, I made an offer last One Belly Wednesday to come check out our blog and look at the birth partner video. Man alive, did we get a lot of responses from that. I couldn't have dreamed that I was going to be as successful as it was. Really got the eyeballs on the video that I was always hoping would happen. And those of you who did actually go ahead and get that, you notice that you got a special gift from me too. So I hope you're really enjoying that one as well. That should have come into your inbox. The 40 Ways of Connecting with Baby. I used it. Dr. Jay Warren, who put it together, is a good friend of mine, and I was really grateful that he offered that up. That's still available. I still have it on the blog. If you want to download that for free for now, I've got it up in celebration of my son's birth and what I was able to accomplish in my own home. And so if you're a chiropractor who's really kind of like curious about pregnancy, man, come along for the ride. Please, please, please come get the training. Dr. Stone is actually going to be in Fort Myers coming up in a couple of weeks. So you can still register for the ICPA class here in Fort Myers. There's plenty of time to do that. It's going to happen, like I said, probably in about 3 weeks from now. So plenty of time to register, plenty of time to join, be a member. But yeah, please, let's help serve everybody together. I'll see you guys next week. Until then, I hope you guys all take great care.